We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. And welcome to another edition of On the Road with the MTA. I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie Kay from the MTA. How's Stephanie today?
I'm great, busy. I've been to a lot of different chamber events, and I know Mr. Ben and I have to go to an awards banquet this evening.
Again?
Well, we raised money for the breast cancer awareness. So
okay.
We're doing that
All
in
right.
Frankenmuth, and I was at an awards banquet just last week as he received an award, and that just go all the
You
time.
are go all the time.
I was at the Davison Chamber Luncheon today, met some wonderful people. But last week I went to the Swartz Creek Chamber, and whenever you meet somebody who's really dynamic or doing something great in the community, you want to have them on our podcast.
Yes, you do.
That's what this is all about, is wonderful things happening in the community. Free things, services, things people might not be aware of. And, my passion and my heart are the seniors and the veterans. That's why I love MTA. We've talked about this many times. They give veterans and their spouses free rides.
That's fantastic.
6 free rides a month on anything health and wellness, grocery store, pharmacy, the doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. So when I learned of this man, his name is Todd, Beedy. We went to the American Legion Hall for our Swartz Creek Chamber, and he was talking about things they were doing for the veterans. I thought, that's great. I want to have you on our podcast. Let's hear more about that. So Todd, Beedy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
Well, when you were talking, there was so much great information that you had out there. You said that you build ramps and things for veterans, and I thought, that's it. I want to have you on and talk about everything you do. So what is your title that you do there with the American Legion Hall?
So at the American Legion Post, my title is actually Second Vice, which is community engagement and basically event management. So we have a group of leaders here, commander, first vice, second vice, finance, adjutant, who are the basically leaders, but we are elected leaders. Every year we go through and our crew picks out who they want to have perform the specific tasks. And luckily the team still likes me to be in that position.
I think they do. You did a great job with it. Well, tell us some things that you do for the veterans in that position, because I know you said you will build ramps for them, which is awesome. But what are some of the things that you do?
Yep. So the American Legion Post here in Swartz Creek, obviously most people know the American Legion is made up of veterans and veterans families. So we actually have 3 parts to Legion plus a partner group. So there is the Sons of the Legion, there is the Women's Auxiliary, and then there is the kind of the main members. So if you're a veteran that has served in the U.S. Armed Forces, you're eligible to join the American Legion at any point in time. So that's kind of our main members, our post. If you're a spouse, you can join the auxiliary, sons, daughters, those type of downline from there, whether men or women, it doesn't matter. You can join the sons and daughters of the American Legion. So those 3 folks make up the majority of our members, and we're actually over 500 strong between all 3 groups. And then we also have the AMVETs. And what we do as a trifecta plus 1 is we actually get together and source out needs in the community. That ranges from fixing a veteran's flag. So there was a flag down on Corona Road. A guy's flagpole, his flag had fallen down. We had somebody just stop, fix up his pulley, make sure that the flag was flying, number 1. We had a guy come back from Iraq a few years ago. This was back, I think, in 13 or 14. Guy came back with some damage, had to be in a chair. So our sons group and our main members group got together, took out some hammers, took out some lumber, and built a ramp for this front of this guy's porch. That's 2 similar activities that we just do kind of ad hoc. But in building our future, we do a lot of things with the school district here in Swartz Creek. We do some stuff out with Carmen Ainsworth. We do some stuff with Lake Fenton, but majority of our stuff obviously here in our community because we're local and we touch the families and folks. We do a couple things. So the titles are state boys state, girls state. So we bring the kids who are interested in politics. We actually send them to a teaching and training session down in Lansing for a week. They get to go down and actually work with the legislators here in the state of Michigan to kind of deep dive down into that. Another part we do is called student troopers. So kids that have a desire to be part of law enforcement, they actually have a 2-day training session every year where the kids actually get to go and experience what it's like to be a state trooper. Obviously, they don't take them out on the road for any calls or anything like that, but they show the training, they show the education, they show what those troopers do on a day-to-day to give them the ability to do it. Cool part about both of these things is both of these activities that I just mentioned count towards advanced education credits.
Oh, cool.
There's actually a variety of other things to go, but I don't want I don't want to go too in depth because I can sit here and talk about this all day long.
And you never know what you might spark in a young person that they're going to be in the law enforcement for a career. So that's wonderful. They can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, awesome. Now, if somebody's listening right now and they are maybe a veteran or they have a neighbor who's a veteran, they need, let's just say, a ramp built or they need some help and assistance. How can they get a hold of you to let you know they could use your assistance?
So SwartzCreekLegion.com is our website. On there, you'll see our address. We're over at 3440 Morris Road here in Swartz Creek. We don't have any paid staff. Everybody here is a volunteer. So we don't really have anybody sitting around in the office. But if you see a car in the parking lot, you're always welcome to stop up. And then our phone number is 810-635-7333. And you're more than welcome to leave us a message. We're also on Facebook. If you search Swartz Creek Legion, you'll find us there on Facebook as well. You can utilize whatever means are comfortable to you as a person to reach out to us, and we can have a conversation and see where the Legion can help you out.
Well, I know I'm going to be going over there and dropping off some items for the soldiers because they're putting together packages, and they needed everything. They talked about those little, those little mugs that you get, or those little drinking cups you get for promotions. You probably have a whole cupboard full of those, don't you?
Yep.
Well, they're collecting those right now because they're going to send them to the soldiers because they can put their water in there, and they give them a cleaning water tablet, so it cleans the water so they can actually drink that. Oh. So, and they need combs. They need, so many items. Now, is that done through you as well, Todd?
Yes, ma'am. So Kathy Knickerbocker has kind of taken charge of that. She has our women's auxiliary is a powerhouse when it comes to taking care of our veterans, especially our deployed folks. And what you're referencing, we put together care packages. So like I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos of people putting together cookies and putting together knickknacks and whatnot. So what we've done is we've reached out to a couple of our former deployed folks that have came home in the last few years and basically said, hey, if you could have had anything, right? What would you have wanted? And it's kind of funny. Like you heard her at the meeting talking about like mustard packets, salsa packets, McDonald's sweet and sour sauce, believe it or not, is an absolute hit. They get to, obviously MREs, for those who don't know, meals ready to eat is what the soldiers have to eat in the field. Sometimes it's hot. Most of the time it's cold. But they're able to sauce it up, flavor it up. So good example of a partner in the community is Subway up here. Mike Yost here in town owns the Subway platform. He donates a case of mustard every year for us to use, little packets of mustard.
Yeah.
And he takes really good care of us. There's a lot of our community does that. I don't want to just single him out. We got a lot of good donations, but it's these care packages. It literally gives these soldiers a taste of home when they're sitting in Fallujah or sitting in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and you name it, wherever they're at in the world, we can get these care packages to them, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, I know they said a comb too, and I bought this big old bag of combs because I wanted one specific comb, and it had like a little pointer thing on it, so I wanted that for my hair. All the other combs I'm not going to use, so I want to bring those over. And you name some of the things that people can, if they're listening right now, they can get together in their house and bring over to or buy. What would be some of the things that we can? Do you have a list in front of you, or can I get that list so I can put on the Facebook page with this? What are some things you can think of?
So you kind of hit it on the nail. Combs. Any type of like a mug or something that's got a seal where they can throw it back in their rucksack. Spice packets, sugar packets, any type of seasoning, flavoring stuff. Those are some ones. I know we talked about it a little bit, but clothing. Believe it or not, Kathy brought up a specific point where Stephanie was visiting with the Chamber of Commerce, where one of the field hospitals they were at, because of some contaminants, basically we had to give away all the clothes. So like they normally have like a place where if a soldier gets hurt, right, their gear gets all messed up, they can have a pair of sweatpants, have a T-shirt, have something to wear while they're over there, because it's not easy to get clothing into a field area, right? So we sent 150 T-shirts. But what I'll do, Stephanie, is I'll get with Kathy and we'll get kind of a hit list.
Yes, please. I do have a list I got from her, so I'll put that on the Facebook page as well. But I didn't know, when you say clothing, you don't want somebody's old, beat up clothing. You would like some maybe gently used, but possibly brand new, right? Is what you're looking for.
Yeah, if we get anything in packages that's already in sealed packages, if you got something like that, obviously, I can tell you from knowledge of friends, socks and underwear are always a hit.
Sure.
You're never going to go wrong with that type of stuff.
I could see that for sure. Yeah. Who doesn't like a nice pair of warm socks and clean underwear?
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody needs that. Well, yeah, everybody wants to help. I know. She talked about even like coffee mugs too. Would those be okay, or is it not because they don't close? They don't have a top that closes.
So, a lot of that, we send whatever we get. And again, it's not, I don't want to set unrealistic expectation for people in the field. I mean, guys in the field are not going to be carrying around a coffee mug.
Right. That's what I was
thinking. When they get back to camp, when they get back, it's being able to have it sitting on their nightstand or sitting in their tent, and they can sit down and look at a coffee cup that they got from home. And I mean, when they're spending 90, 180 days in the field, temps at 119 and nights at 30 degrees Fahrenheit, it's a big swing. And again, it just gives them a little bit of taste of home.
Well, and gloves and hats and scarves, would that be something that would be useful too?
I think
Okay.
I'll have to defer to Kathy on
That's
that.
okay.
It's one of those things to where, I mean, obviously a lot of the gear is a government issue for the soldiers.
That makes
So, I
sense.
mean, they're going to have a lot of their cold weather prep and hot weather prep. This is more of a care package type thing.
Well, also, aren't notes really welcome? Like if you can write notes, just saying thank you for your services.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so if anybody wants to write notes, I'll be happy to take them over there to you guys. I think that's really important.
Yeah, we actually one of Kathy's things is she'll actually collect handwritten cards through the year. Like we'll actually do a card signing party where we take a community and you'll get 5-10 people per card that'll sign again, thank you for my freedom, right? Because freedom's not free. So you get being able to open up these cards while they're sitting in the middle of a place thousands of miles from home means a lot.
They're our heroes. They're the reason why we have our freedom. You're right. Well, MTA just loves to partner with people like you to help get the veterans their free rides to anything health and wellness, whether it's maybe a grocery store or the doctor's appointments or their dentist appointments. So we'll take them all the way to the Veterans Hospital and wait with them. On the way home, drop them off at the grocery store or to the pharmacy and then get them back home to where they have to be warm and comfortable. So we'd love being able to do that for free for the veterans. And what you're doing is just incredible. So you let us know if there's ever anything we can do for you as an MTA employee to help you out with your transportation, okay?
Count on that. I think we already actually talked about it. It's funny you bring that up, Stephanie. We last night I was talking with one of the other members, and we had somebody who was talking about he couldn't take his uncle to a particular appointment, and his uncle's also a veteran, by the way. And we mentioned something about MTA, and he actually mentioned the fact that he's used that a time before when his uncle needed to get to, I think it was a doctor's appointment or something. They said, they called for a vet ride, and he said it was easy.
Oh, I'm so glad, because 40 to 70% of the people, over 4 million people a year, will miss their medical appointments due to lack of transportation. They don't want to put anybody out. They don't want to call a neighbor or get their kids, a day off work. So they just miss the appointment. Sometimes you're charged with a no-show or a cancellation fee. So it's really important we get these heroes, our seniors and our veterans, to the hospital, the doctor, the grocery store, wherever they need to go. So
whatever they need. Yes, ma'am.
So glad it could work. Well, Todd, I can't thank you enough for taking your time out of your busy schedule to give us a call and to help spread the information and the services that you have to offer.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. Thanks for all you do. And thanks for listening. Now you can listen every week, as many do, for the great information that we share from the community right here on The Road with the MTA. Stephanie K. and Jay.
That is me.
All the way. How can they be a guest, Jeff?
Just drop us an email at podcast@mtaflint.org. You've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.